Hello everyone, this is HGSK here back with some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm 1v1 action, and this episode of Husky Cast is brought to you by me. So in a shameless self-promotion, go like the video or leave a comment or tell me what you're wearing right now, and if it's nothing, go ahead and explain in great detail. Anyway, spawning in the top left side, it is going to be Lowly, who not having much luck, but still showing us great games. And down to the bottom left side, it is going to be Empire Happy. The map is going to be Whirlwind, and since this game's probably going to take a minute to get underway as we are in a large map, the game is just getting started, and we've already seen relatively long games, all things considered, from these players. Why don't we go ahead and have a little chat? What we're going to be chatting about, I don't know. I'm going to be making up off the top of my head. And hang on, apparently my microphone's a little bit too close. So there we go. Hopefully that is a-okay right there. But anyways, we should have a chat, guys. I want to talk to you guys. You guys are the best. Basically, if you missed the games previously to this, they were pretty darn good. Definitely go check them out. That's number one. Number two, thank you everyone for the support on Broken Quest. It has been a lot of fun, able to work on an animation series while also playing and casting StarCraft 2. That is great. And number three, now that you've told me what you're wearing, or what you're not wearing, I need you to post another comment in what would you like to see more of on my channel. Now, this is something that I like to check in every now and then to kind of get a feel of exactly what it is you guys would like to see on my channel. I've done this several times throughout the years, and I'm going ahead and doing it right now. So, aside from Nerd Alert, and aside from Bronze League Heroes, what would you like to see more of on my channel? Did you like the behind-the-scenes stuff? Do you like vlogs? Do you want Q&A? Do you want ladder anxiety? Do you want more gameplay of other games? Let me know in detail kind of the stuff you want. Upvote the comments that you really like. Because in all honesty, I do love the feedback from you guys, and unfortunately, I can't do every single thing that is requested, but I do my best to try and make what is most entertaining. Right now, speaking of entertaining, we're going to be having a command center on the way for Happy. Also, one of the options is just more pro games. I mean, that's definitely a viable option as well. But anyways, Happy is going to be going for a command center first, and Lowly going for the hatchery. Hatchery first right there. So pretty standard builds out of both of these players right now, which is to be expected. I mean, we've kind of seen this. It's almost like a respect play out of both these players. Them just realizing, you know what, I don't want a super cheeseball rush all in right in the first couple of minutes. Let's go ahead and get those expansions up, get the worker count up. Now, the real question on my mind is Happy going to be going for yet another command center? We saw him go for 3 command centers in one of the previous games. It worked out quite well. Is instead going to be trying to secure this natural a little bit quicker than you might expect with the bunker on the low ground. Already going to be upgrading this orbital command center inside the main base. Don't want to make the same mistake where you end up losing that natural super early to lots of lings. We've seen that not only in previous games, but also, this is a best of 5 series, but we've also seen players like TLO really start to utilize that a lot, which is pretty cool. Like to see that. Factory got to be on the way, so no second command center constructed. So not going for a third command center overall. Going to go ahead and land that. Notice how he dropped the mule right away. Once that was done, he just wants to get that mining as quickly as possible. Plus, you know, 1 extra mule in the main base is not that big of a deal, and it just gets you that money a little bit sooner. And, you know, mo money, mo units. StarCraft 2 is not like real life. It is not mo money, mo problems. It is mo money, less problems, because you're going to have lots of units on the field to hopefully help defend you. There's going to be SCV patrolling back and forth here. We'll see if he has a good read on when that third base would be going up. Is he going to actually be able to delay it, or is he just going to be scouting when it goes down? Either way, doesn't really matter as long as that SCV is over there. He'll be able to do one or the other. And we do actually have a third command center on the way for Happy. This is after Factory, though, so this is not the earliest you can get away with it. You can actually get away with getting a third command center quite early, especially if you have good scouting, especially if you see 2 queens out on the front. That already means that there's 4 queens on the field, which indeed there are. And what that means is a lot less roaches, a lot less lings, etc. So the rush timing is going to be a little bit delayed, which means you can get your command center out a little bit earlier. But with that on the way, is Empire Happy going to be overextending on the macro? Overlord over here, going to be spotting this SCV, realizes, all right, got to send some lings over there to deal with it. Does he have any lings? That's the real question. No! No lings actually made this game. That is a little bit absurd out of Lowly. He is a little bit supply blocked here. That's not the biggest deal because he has Lair Tech on the way, as well as the Roach Warren and the double Evo Chambers, which frees up a little bit of supply to make 2 more drones. So that supply block is not actually that big of a deal. We'll be able to follow it up with more drones on the back of this if he wants. Could go for roaches for some defense for that third base, but the Hellions right here force the... or do they kill... let's see, they killed a couple of the creep tumors, but one of them did get canceled, so he will be able to continue pushing that forward. And, of course, the queens up here can run down anytime, but you got to remember that if they run down, they run the risk of a run by. I tried to use the word run in that sentence as many times as possible, but either way, he has had problems, Lowly that is, with Hellions making it inside his main base, not going to be making the same mistake, and is going to leave those queens right there. Hellions going to poke up there. Oh, whoa, God, that queen about to open up the front gates, but unfortunately, well, thankfully, they didn't end up running by, but they almost did. The Hellions now kind of seeing if they can kill off more creep tumors, and indeed they will be able to. That means that these two queens right here not going to have enough energy to do anything other than lay down the creep tumors. Oh, actually going to be going for the glial reconstitution pretty early on that upgrade. Keep in mind that Lowly is still on 2 bases, and, you know, as time goes on, that's going to be telling Empire Happy, hey, there's not a lot of macro out of Lowly. We already see some roaches. We saw the 2 evolution chambers, and obviously saw the roach horn, which means that there is a potential for the upgrade. Can the queen here actually hold this off? Yes, she can. She is a true American, eating lots of Burger King there to be plump enough to block off that entrance. Very nicely played. The Hellions over here, though, still proving to be quite annoying. Might be able to kill off a couple more creep tumors here if they decide to. Nope, not able to focus it down as one Hellion dies almost immediately. Gonna go ahead and retreat with that. Now, at this point, what is Empire Happy's follow-up? It looks like it's gonna be mech, which this makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable because these Hellions do not have that much map control. They didn't deny that much creep spread, and the timing of this third base is so late that I'm just a little bit worried that going mech this early might not actually have enough stuff out to be able to push out across the map and punish the Zerg player for not having that third base. I don't know. It's kind of a weird spot. Getting mech this early can be very dangerous. It can be very difficult to secure a third base as well. So we'll see exactly how Lowly plays this out. These roaches are kind of hiding out in the grass. But for now, that's a lot of roaches. And the fact of the matter is that the Hellions are there to delay the creep spread. If you're going to be going for mech, that's the most important. I feel like they did not do a great job of that. And what that means is that mech is going to have a hell of a time pushing out across the map and getting on top of that creep, because that's where roaches are much more powerful. That's where you can micro them. That's where the reinforcements are going to get there much easier. So we shall see, especially with 1-1 already done. We'll see if these roaches might actually be able to do lots of damage here. The 2 siege tanks might be enough to hold it off. The Overseer there kind of checking it out, seeing if there's anything he can actually, you know, send up there to break down that wall. SCV's pulled off the line. Hellbats now kind of in the front and center as well. That Thor is a little bit too far forward, but I don't think that Lowly's going to risk running up there just yet. However, Lowly does now have a lot of roaches, has the third base on the way, and with the fourth base easily on the back of this if he decides to, I think Lowly's going to be okay right now. Has just enough roaches to hang on and can easily start droning up. There we go. We have a macro hatch. That is going to be inside the main base. Ooh, he's not actually going to go for what I thought he would, which is just a big macro play. He's instead going to be going for roach drops, which could be quite fascinating to see unfurl. Is that a word? We're gonna go with unfurl. But either way, siege tank's now slowly gonna be moving out, and you know, Empire Happy playing this out how he can. But again, like I was saying, securing that third base got to be such a pain because guess what? This is wide open here. Not only do you have to protect your natural, you also have to protect the third from the right side, which can be super, super annoying to try and do. These roaches, I think, really could be going for killing out these rocks. There's a scan right there. He wants to know, are the roaches got to be busting down those rocks? He's gonna see them as they attempt to do so. I really do think these roaches should go for the rocks if possible. If nothing else, I think Lowly's is trying to buy time. He's trying to intimidate his opponent and maybe be able to snipe a couple units here. Not going to be so lucky today as they are on the high ground and in a defensive position. So again, the roaches not going to be very good at offense here just yet, but once those drops are ready, that might be a whole different story. Here's the Overlord Doom drop getting ready to go. Is it going to be a Doom drop though? I'm actually kind of curious to see if it's going to be enough units to actually crush that army or not. And really, I feel like we should work on the definition of Doom drop. I think Doom drop is something where you load your entire army in there and you hope to win with sheer force. That's going to be my official Doom drop term, which I probably shouldn't dub that because I'm sure I'll use it out of context one time and someone will be like, Husky, in Game 3 of Empire's Happy versus Lowly, you described it as this. I'm like, whatever, I'm sorry for being so bad, but it does look like right now the roaches here are ready to go inside that drop. I'm kind of keeping an eye on this army because I'm wondering if a scan is going to come down, because seeing this many Overlords already preemptively pooping creep and moving very quickly, that's going to tell you a lot as to what's coming your way, which is going to be a massive attack. Lowly kind of gearing up right now. He does have Banelings on the way, which are actually quite nice versus mech, and we have the +1 melee attacks that's going to help with the Baneling detonations. We have +2 range attack nearly done. So this is a very, very calculated move here by Lowly. The only thing is that his creep spread does need to be a little bit better, I feel like. which he is going to continue pushing forward with that. So we'll just have to wait and see if that ends up working out. I think the Overlord, is that actually in range of that center tower? It's bugging me not to know. Yes, it is, or at least is spotted there. And it does look like the Doom Drop is going to be moving out now. He has the majority of this army here. The scan, though, is going to reveal that. All of a sudden, you can see this army trying to split up as best as possible, trying to get behind the missile turrets right here, basically just going to try to reduce the amount of damage from these Overlords. The Vikings here trying to do lots of damage. One Overlord goes down, and it does look like the drop is going to commence, but guess what? 3 or 4 Overlords went down full of units. Here comes the drop on top of the mech army, though. It may be enough for reinforcing roaches here pushing forward. The siege tanks not in position, nor are they siege. There's no units in those Overlords, but those siege tanks don't know that. And it looks like that drop actually managing to do enough damage to open up this third base wide open. No planetary forces here. He's going to regret that decision, as this is going to be, you know, this would be enough for a planetary to hold off, but since it's not there, that's not going to quite work out. It does look like, though, that Happy has held on for now. Lots of SCVs getting taken out, though, and the third base has been sacked. Does not lose the Orbit Command itself, but needs to get up a planetary up in the top left side. Is going to attempt to do so. Mules have already been dropped there, so Empire Happy is going to recover from this a little bit, but at the same time, he cannot be feeling good. His army size not going to be the most stellar thing I've ever seen, 57 to 92. And you got to remember that when you go mech, you expect to have a very large army size, just because the units they're either high in supply or low in cost. And basically what that means is that Hellbats are very cheap. They help you get maxed out very quickly. But Thors, while they do cost a lot, their supply is also very, very high as well. So you tend to have a very high army value when you are going mech. So to see it be that low is not that great. Hellbats here actually in a perfect position to absorb a lot of the damage. Siege tanks here getting in a position as well, but the Roach with the +2/+1 just absolutely crushing through. The Siege tanks have the same upgrades, but guess what? They're not in position to protect this. Needs to lift off that orbital. Manages to, albeit barely. The SCV's gone down once again as well. I don't think that Lowly knows about the third base over here. I think that he is a little bit too comfortable with this attack. He's feeling like, all right, I locked down this base. I can just safely sit back. However, in his defense, he's going to be going for a fourth base. He has 12 drones on the way, so that's going to be almost fully saturated instantly once it's done. And he does have a little oversaturation, or I should say full saturation here. But we'll be able to transfer a lot of these workers over from the main, from the natural, from the third, and should have the actual absolute perfect amount of units here. So I feel like Lowly's actually hitting a stride right now, where all of this is going to fall into place. He did a lot of damage with these roaches, and now he's got the fourth base. He's got the perfect amount of drones saturated, and on the back of that, he's already kind of tech switched into Hydralisks, which is not really a tech switch. It's more of the evolution, the natural evolution. Oh, trying to kill that creep tumor with the Hellbat. He drew the short straw for sure. Had to go down there to try and kill that off. There should be a missile turret or something pretty soon to help push this back. I mean, this missile turret I don't think can see it. It's close, but not quite yet. Not able to spot that there. So that creep is going to be quite annoying. That allows in all honesty, the Hydras just to march right up the ramp. We'll see, though, if this actually works out. The creep tumor does go down, but at the same time, there's just not enough siege tanks here, not enough units on the field. And at this point, this is where mech starts to be the most annoying thing to play, because you can't be everywhere at once to defend. So you have to slowly move your army back and forth and back and forth. And since this creep spread is so good, like we were mentioning before, that's going to really cause some severe problems for him. And needs to try and really figure this out. He's got to push this creep back somehow, some way, and also really needs that Infernal Pre-Igniter to help start roasting up those Hydras. But the problem is that Happy has not had enough money, has not had enough bases, and has not had enough time to start really getting these upgrades that he needs. Sensor Tower does go down, or go up, I guess really you can say it either way, but the Sensor Tower has been constructed, so he should be able to defend that location much easier. May have to build a second Sensor Tower, which is actually on the way right now. I feel like putting it right here might have been better, but either way, he will be able to safely move back and forth. But again, I mean, both those sensor towers are money he would rather be spending on the Infernal Pre-Igniter upgrade, on more units, on getting up another base. So Happy right now, not going to be too happy at the pace of this game. Mech on this map, I feel like, just looking at the layout of the map, looking at the build order that Lowly is going, I feel like mech, oh my god, 42 Banelings on the way. I just feel like mech is so difficult in this situation on this map, because there's just so many ways for Zerg to attack. The creep spread looking great from Lowly, and this is just almost unrecoverable. I mean, he has creep spread going to corners of the map that'll probably never even be used, in all honesty. That is how good of a position he is actually in right now, and it's going to be tough for Happy. He needs to pull out some drops, or he needs to be able to do some sort of harassment. Just sitting back like this, I don't think it's going to quite work out, and he needs more upgrades. I mean, he's going to be going up against 3-3 pretty soon. As you can see, +3 missiles is on the way, and Baneling's at 1-1, Hydra's at 2-1. Baneling should be inside the Overlords. We got, look at this Overlord, man. It is a party. We got a Roach, we got a Hydralisk, a Baneling, and another Roach. So loading up lots of different stuff in these Overlords. The other ones mostly have Banelings, but there are some Hydras and stuff mixed in. And here we go. It is time. Lowly saying, you know what? The last 2 games not going great. I'm going to change that with a crazy drop. And it looks like he's going to attempt to do just that. The Vikings are going to be able to spot this right away. Should be able to kill off maybe 1 or 2 of the Overlords here. The Siege Tanks have got to be ultra cautious right now, as the Overlord's going to be dropping directly on top of them. Baneling's coming on out. Is this attack actually going to work? The Vikings should actually be able to clean this up. I don't know if this attack was the most cost effective. You have to understand, though, that Lowly has had more money, more supply, and more bases for quite some time. So being not cost effective is not necessarily the end of the world, although he did even up those supplies, which is not a good situation for Lowly. You can see that that attack did not go as he had planned. The Hydras here might be able to do just a little bit extra damage here to even it up as much as possible. Yes, he's actually going to be in the mineral line right now. Kills the Sensor Tower as well. So these 4 Hydras are literally what are making this drop worth it. That's going to be a lot of SCVs killed off, and the Hellbat's still no Infernal Pre-Igniter, which he just can't afford it. He needs to get out as many units as possible. He just lost more SCVs. He is making SCVs, you know, continuously, but this is not looking good for Happy. If he would have killed off those Hydras quicker, I think this game would have looked a lot different. But now, you know, Lowly can go for a 5th base here if he wants to, because he's able to scare the Terran into playing defensively. And if you, as a Zerg player, able to do that, you're going to be in great shape, because a lot of times it's the Zerg player who's playing defensively. And also this base up here, I wouldn't say completely undefended, but not very well defended. These Roaches are going to be able to do tons of damage. And also with the Glial Reconstitution of the Creep Fed right here, able to escape quite easily. These are the 4, these Overlords have got to be traumatized after watching that attack. They are the 4 sole survivors of that attack. Scan right there, got to be revealing exactly what the army is, but you know, at the end of the day, Happy has got to be able to deal with his creeps, right? He's got to be able to deal with the army, and now he's tech switching into Ravens, which honestly, Mass Raven is so good versus Zerg late game. This is something we were seeing a lot of Terran players do, and it's great. It allows you to just chew up the army with Seeker missiles. You can use point defense drones against the Hydras. You can use the auto turrets for harassment and just for soaking up damage. There's a lot of stuff you can do with Mass Raven, but when you don't have an army to back it up, that's a problem. 10 Ultralisks on the way. Keep in mind, this has all been off of 4 bases as well. Another attack up here. Honestly, losing these Roaches wouldn't be that big of a deal. He can afford an Ultra or 2 more, plus with the other base on the way. Drones are transferring on over. Lowly has indeed hit his stride, and the Ultra's not the best unit versus Mech, but when you are ahead, you have a lot of extra money and some decent upgrades on the way. Chitinous plating almost done. +3 melee attack has been started. +2 armor. I mean, going for the Ultras might have been the correct choice here. Broodlords also would have been great, mixed in with the Hydralisk. I think could have dealt with that as well. Lowly going to be eating up these less important buildings, the ones that are least likely to die. And for now, these Ultras, I don't know if they've been revealed or not. But for Empire Happy's sake, he had better hope for a favorable battle. I think that the Hellbats, you know, they're going to do a good job absorbing a lot of damage, but since Ultralisks now do full damage to all units, 41 damage plus that splash damage plus the 3 attack is on the way. I don't think those Hellbats are really going to be filling that role. It's going to be up to the Siege Tanks, but the Siege Tanks don't have the +3 attack, and really the Raven's not the greatest versus Ultras, because really what can the Raven do versus the Ultra? Point defense drone doesn't work, the auto turret's not going to do any damage, Seeker missile, it's just not going to do that much damage versus such a massive unit, but here we go. Looks like Lowly's got to try and go for it. He's got to run to the Siege Tank line. Can he actually pull this off? Lowly's been playing very ballsy this entire time. The blinding cloud may be a little bit too much. These tanks unable to work when they are underneath that. And like I was saying, Raven's not the best option in this situation. And, you know, it looks like Happy may hold on for now, but he has lost the majority of his army. And there's also going to be attack over here at the 3rd, which the Planetary there will hold on for now. But at the same time, this Natural has no units in the bunker. The Raven's extremely low on energy. No one's got enough energy for a Seeker missile. No one's got point defense. It's only going to be auto turrets, which are not going to be doing damage. We do have a Banshee on the way, which would be great. But with no cloaking and no way to deal with these queens, that Banshee's not going to be able to do a whole lot. There's going to be the GG. We are going to go on to game number 4. So a shameless self-promotion. Give this video a thumbs up. And let me know down below what you'd like to see on the channel more. And also, apparently, what you're wearing. It's getting really weird on my channel today, but that's absolutely fine. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time. Drop the bass. Well, my bass is, like, super weak. Well, my music dubstep career, that was short-lived. All right, bye. See you guys next time. Hope you enjoy it. I feel weird ending a video without saying it correctly, so hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, that